And it's a great way of just developing another network, because let's face it, you can never have too big a network. Sarah Atkinson. I am in the real estate team, so what we lovingly call transactional real estate at AG. I came back to the team about a year ago. It's actually almost exactly a year ago, after a 13-year gap. The reason for coming back to AG, really, there were a few key things. One was that it was the one firm that I'd worked for and left and really hugely regretted leaving and felt like I kind of had unfinished business with it. And I left on really good terms, and there were lots of people who actually were in the Leeds office when I was there who are still there. They've just kind of moved up the ranks. And it felt a little bit like coming back here felt a bit like coming home, because I sort of felt like I already had that network set up, and I knew people and they knew me, and it just made it so much easier. And once I actually did make the decision, because it took me about 3 years of prevaricating to make the decision, but I did do it. And yeah, honestly, never looked back. Really just, it's been absolutely fantastic coming back to what is essentially the same firm in terms of culture and values. It's actually fantastic to work for a firm that has that ambition and that hunger for growth, because nobody wants to just stand still, really, because you stand still, you end up going backwards. So it's just really nice to have that drive to do bigger things and do bigger deals and really build a practice, because that's what I personally enjoy doing. I love going out and meeting people and talking to them, finding out what makes them tick, finding out what makes their businesses tick, and working out how we can help them. So my parents were obsessive DIYers. My dad was a civil engineer. My mum worked for Persimmon for 20 years and had been an estate agent before that. So I had this connection to property. We'd always been very involved in property. And it sort of felt like it made sense. I mean, my dad wanted me to be a civil engineer, but that didn't appeal at all. Didn't fancy it. Didn't fancy being an estate agent. And the next obvious thing to do in property was law. So I did my conversion on the basis that I kind of knew that I wanted to go into property law. Didn't get the memo clearly about how difficult training contracts are to get. Blithely just applied for 2. One of which I went to the interview, realised that it absolutely wasn't the right firm for me, and ended up cutting the interview short by saying, actually, I don't think I want to work for you. Sorry for wasting your time. And the other one I got. Useful to have the benefit of people's experience, especially when they're in a position where they're offering you that freely, as opposed to on an exit interview or something more formal than that. I think it's a really good way of getting a real sounding of how people feel about the firm, and if there are things that could be improved upon, if there are things that we're doing really, really well, and it's a case of whatever you do, don't ever change that. It's a great way of getting that feedback, and it's a great way of just developing another network, because let's face it, you can never have too big a network.